comes the bride, all fat and whoops, wrong song. Okay. Used to sing that song a lot when we were kids, but we're going to talk today about marriage, weddings, and what we call people who are getting married. So, when you meet someone and you fall in love, right, you get to know that person, and then you want to marry them. So generally, the man will propose to a woman, get down on his knee with a ring, give her a ring and ask her to marry him, and then they'll set a date. When that happens, they're engaged. So, we call the man fiancé and the woman a fiancée, right? Nice word from French origins, I assume, but we use them in English, so the word is fiancé. Now, they set a date to get married, and on the day of the marriage ceremony, at the wedding, we call the man a groom and the woman a bride. So we have the bride and groom on the day of the wedding, right? So if you've seen that classic movie, Princess Bride, right? Remember the classic line, marriage. Marriage is what brings us together, right? So, a funny scene from the movie about a bride who is going to get married to the groom. There's another good movie called The Corpse Bride, Tim Burton movie, if you've seen that. So, 2 movies about brides that you can watch. There's some worksheets we'll add in the links below. You can download as well to watch those movies and work on. Okay? So we have the bride and groom, and right after they get married, we call them newlyweds. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about the wedding ceremony and the people who were there. Generally, when people come to the wedding ceremony, first the guests start arriving and they sit. Generally, the guests of the groom sit on one side, and the guests of the bride sit on the other side, right? Of course, every culture has their own traditions, but generally, the bride has several bridesmaids who stand up front with her, and the groom has the groomsmen, right? His friends, 3 or 4 guys who stand with him, the groomsmen, and the bride has 3 or 4 bridesmaids, her friends, who stand up front with her. And they generally wear the same colored clothes or matching clothes. So, one specific bridesmaid is her maid of honor, generally her best friend, a maid of honor. And the groom has a best man. The best man is his friend who stands with him during the ceremony, all right, while the minister performs the ceremony. The minister can be a pastor or a priest or a minister of justice. It's the person who performs the ceremony, all right? So after the guests sit down and then the wedding party comes in, the groomsmen and the bridesmaids, they go up front, and then the father of the bride escorts the bride down the aisle. The father of the bride escorts her, the bride, down the aisle and gives her to the groom, right? And then the minister performs the ceremony. Oh, I forgot. Before that, before the flower girl comes in throwing flowers, right, to prepare the way for the bride. And then, while the bride and groom are up front, the minister's performing the ceremony, they take their vows. They say, nice words to each other, or the minister says some words and they say, I do, at the end. And then the ring bearer gives them the rings, and they put the rings on each other's fingers. The minister pronounces them man and wife and says, you may now kiss the bride. And so then they kiss, and as they leave, everyone throws rice or confetti, right? So, After that, they go to the reception where they have the party, they eat lots of good food, they cut the cake, right? Take pictures, they pose for pictures, they have a good time with all their friends and family to celebrate the wedding. And then there's other traditions here in Brazil. They also cut the tie, right? Take the groom's tie and they cut pieces and sell it to the guests to make money for the bride and groom to have money on their honeymoon. So we didn't have the word honeymoon, so we'll add it here. Honeymoon is the vacation time that the man and the woman take right after their wedding to celebrate and get to know each other. They usually travel somewhere. That's the honeymoon. Honeymoon. Okay? So, there you go. The wedding ceremony in a nutshell. If you have questions about any of these words, leave them below. We'll think about creating another video, adding some phrases, questions. You can say phrases you can use at a wedding. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask or leave comments below. We love hearing from you, getting your feedback. So we'll talk more later. Y'all have a great day, and bye-bye.